If you were a Canadian living in Upper, Lower Canada, or the Maritimes, and you wanted to go west to British Columbia, then I would suggest you find something else to do with your life, because the journey there would not be an easy one. For starters, look at this map that shows the distance between Ontario and British Columbia. That is an incredibly long distance. It's the rough equivalent of the distance between the East Coast and Ireland. Plus, this map is fairly inaccurate too. If you wanted to travel west, your chances of success were pretty slim, considering that there was no railroads, and you would just be on top of your horse or something riding 3,000 kilometers into the woods with no civilization, except maybe a couple of hostile Métis or First Nations villages. So if you were dumb enough to go, you would have to navigate through dark forests, survive -0 temperatures of a Canadian winter, put up with swarms of insects, or face dangerous wildlife, get your body cooked in the scorching 40 degrees Celsius heat of the summer sun. You'd probably get some flesh-rotting disease making you look like a walking corpse. Maybe you would stumble upon some hostile indigenous tribes and get a few souvenirs. Uh-oh, looks like you're starving, and you can't afford to keep feeding your horse valuable rations, so what do? You eat him, and now you've lost your best method of transportation to help you cross the Rockies. And as you cross the mountain range, going through everything time and time again, you think, God, the West better be worth it. And then when you arrive, you cannot find a job because of lower employment rate, and you end up spending your days on the streets begging for food and going to the saloon where you cry about how it all went wrong, and no one will ever listen to your stories because they've heard it all before. Eventually, one day you collapse on the street from starvation and die, but no one ever cares and no one will ever remember you. Not even your friends and family. They will just remember you as that one homeless guy on the street. Well, that doesn't sound quite appealing, does it? You, the viewer, might be wondering if there was another way to get around, and, well, yes, there was. Unfortunately, it was sailing around the entirety of a continent, praying that your ship doesn't get destroyed by pirates, or even worse, blown into a storm. Or maybe even it'll have some catastrophic disease outbreak. In other words, it'd probably just be better to take your chances by crossing the forests and the mountains. Now you, the viewer, might also say, "Ha, you suck at your job, Easton. You didn't even mention the Panama Canal. I know way more about history than you do. Go back to Wikipedia because you don't know." And to that I say this, go back to watching Ancient Aliens because you make them look historically accurate. So when the Canadian Pacific Choo-Choo train was built, it helped Canada's economy a lot because now everyone can travel to the west without worrying about death and other silly things like disease. Kind of. Prior to 1867, about 80% of Canada's population lived in rural communities, meaning they're pretty much all farmers, lumberjacks, fishermen, and fur trappers. Then the Industrial Revolution came and everything changed. Now immigrants had jobs, not good paying ones, and they were very abusive, but you know, it's better than unemployment. And cities thrived with population, and this helped Canada's early economy boom. Another thing about the Canadian Pacific Choo-Choo train is that when it was built, it allowed Canadians to harness their natural resources from all across the country, from the west with its gold and diamonds to the east with its fish, Ontario and Quebec with their coal, waterways, and more. It also allowed Canada to start trading with their largest trading partner to this very day, the US of A. Now, if someone in British Columbia wanted to order something from the East Coast or Britain on Amazon, not only would they have to wait less time now, but better yet, they wouldn't have to watch the mailman die on their doorstep anymore. And if you are a viewer wondering why I uploaded since it was 2 days, well then the answer is no, I'm not uploading every 2 days now. I'm gonna probably upload every month or something, I don't know. But this was just a school project. So nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it educational. This is Easton the History Guy.